Okay, well, when you do that, we're never gonna have a civil discussion.
I don't give a fuck. I don't want to have a civil discussion. I want to call you assholes. By believing these ideas, you're inherently disrespectful of people of color,
so you don't,
of women,
really?
of gay people, of people with
How
depression.
How are we inherently disrespectful to those people?
Because your policies hurt us, and you're white assholes, white bros.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that I'm
dudes.
white, and that automatically means I'm
So a
evil.
white guy's not allowed to have any opinion?
You, well, you have shitty opinions. Like,
I mean, you're allowed to be as rude as you want, but
yeah, exactly.
at the end of the day,
And you're allowed to be as privileged and much of a dickbag as you want. And
except,
this is what you're
except
doing here.
let's see who's throwing the insults and who's being respectful to you and not
You're
calling
being
it.
respectful.
Oh,
These policies
so
are
I'm
not
so I'm
respectful.
so I'm
Just
calling
listen
it.
to
Let's look at
your spiel and
socialist
you're
countries like
incorrect.
Venezuela.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
How did the Soviet Union work out? They were socialist. They failed. Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Well, I mean, I'm paying my loans. I don't have
Yeah,
to
he's
pay my
paying his
loans.
loans.
Yeah, that's nice for you.
We have these things called
white man.
scholarships. We have.
So because I'm a white
because
man,
he's
I
white.
can, not
Yeah.
because I work.
How
hard.
does?
Look at your ugly asshole face. Like, you are so into it that you can't even see it.
This is actually really funny how pathetic this is.
I know, you're adorable. You're so cute. I love talking to guys like
I'd rather-
you because you're pathetic. You're like little worms, and I love it. You're so cute.
No,
So are
it's
you
funny.
gonna make a point, or
I mean,
just,
you know,
you're-
No, I'm just yelling
you know
at
the
you, that's
vast
my point.
majority of the people who work for us are women, actually.
Those poor people.
I have done my research. I've done my research. You're fucking old. Old. You're fucking a white male. Yes. In America. Yes. Look at all the fucking black people that are Mexicans. That's not a fucking issue compared to the black people that are police. Bullshit. The white guys are right. You're a white man. This is fucking bullshit.
Feminism is cancer. Thank you very much.
2 to the 1, from the 1 to the 3. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe, and I get more ass than a toilet seat. 3 to the 1, from the 1 to the 3. I met a bad bitch last night in the D. Let me tell you how I made her leave with me. Conversation and Hennessy.
This actually happened to my eldest son, who's in grade 8. He was in the schoolyard playing. A grade 1 girl walked up to him, slapped him across the head, and said, "You are not allowed to hit girls. You cannot hit me back." I'd like to...
Well, at least she was being honest. You know, and an adult woman who would do that would probably find a way to turn herself into the victim.
Women deserve a safe space on campus. Queer people deserve a safe space on campus. Trans people deserve a safe space on campus.
Groups exist because of that, right?
You mean enough? Why do men need a safe space on campus?
Why do men need a safe space? Because the very idea of an event where men are talking about men's issues in a non-sanctioned manner, then you have what happened at the Warren Farrell protest. I don't know if you watched the footage of that, right? But if I were one of the men who was trying to attend an event talking about male suicide and all kinds of other stuff, and I had some woman who knows she can get away with it up in my face calling me every name in the book, screaming at me, I don't think I'd feel very safe, right? Okay? And frankly, men are the majority of victims of public sphere violence.
I'm not saying that any of those statistics or male suicide, any of that stuff exists, because it does. Men are the victims of more workplace violence, workplace like suicides, low enrollment rates. That said, that's not systematic oppression in society.
Really? I think that when a 6-year-old girl can hit another child and get away with it and never ever have to suffer retaliation because he's a boy, okay? I think that's systematic.
How?
How? Because if the system intervenes and punishes the boy for hitting back, right? It's systematic.
Auch 50 Jahre später ist das noch ein Thema. Sie dürfen für 12 Sekunden in das Tastenkino rein.
Today, I'm on day 2 of my menstrual cycle, and I'm out here in beautiful Lake Tahoe, where I'm going to show you how to do a menstruation offering. So what I like to do is go out into nature, or in my backyard. Right now, I'm not at home, so I found a really nice place out in nature that's public land, and I tune in with Mother Nature and with the earth and ask where is a good place to offer my blood as a gift and as healing. Here I have some blood that I have saved from wearing a diva cup, which I don't have with me in this moment, but basically it's a cup that sits inside the vagina and collects blood similar to a tampon, except that it's a cup. And when I'm not at home, I take that blood and put it in a container so that I can properly put it into the earth, as opposed to just flushing it down the toilet or in the sink. And that's because our blood is very precious, and it holds our DNA and it holds our life essence. So for me, it's very important to honor this sacred fluid. I also have, I don't like wearing a cup or wearing something inside of my vagina all the time. I had to get some pads, and soaking them in water, and then taking the blood with the water out to your plants, your garden, or to the earth. So what I'm going to do is take the plastic backing off, because I don't want to put that into the ground, although it's going to go to a landfill anyway. But when I'm in ceremony, I'm going to just stick with the part that's biodegradable. So I'm going to tear off, I was able to tear off the whole cotton part, and I'm going to put that down here. It's kind of 2 layers coming off. So this part, unfortunately, I'm going to have to throw it in the trash, but that's okay. And then since I have the liquid blood, I'm going to pour that in as well. And the whole time I'm doing this, I'm really setting intentions and saying prayers for myself, asking for healing, forgiveness, offering healing to the earth as well, because this is a symbiotic relationship. We're humans that live on the planet Earth, so we definitely have a give and take relationship with the earth. So I normally silently do my prayers, but for the sake of this video, I'll just kind of say out loud. I ask for healing of my body. I ask for cleansing, and I give healing to the earth.
Feel free, feel free, feel free, feel free. Abortion, genocide, feel free, big mommy, testicle, feel free.
Restarted,
let me
fair
just
enough.
stop you so you don't waste a line of questioning. I'm just giving you...
I love the mansplaining. I'm enjoying it.
You're loving what?
The mansplaining that's going on.
What
Or just talking me through how by not answering the question, by repeating processes which are not related to the question that I've asked.
What's mansplaining, Senator?
Well, it's the slightly patronising and condescending way that you're responding to my questions.
Well, I would suggest, Senator, that if you're putting the word man in front of some description of what I'm doing, you're doing that which I'm sure you're very much against, is making a sexist implication about how I'm conducting my role as a man.
Well, then the easiest way to do it...
Is that what you're saying, Senator?
Well, what I'm saying is that the way you've been responding to me has been patronising and condescending, and I have responded to that. So the easiest way to deal with this is not to have that way in responding to the questions I've asked.
Imagine the reaction, Senator, if I said you were woman-splaining.
Turn down for weed. Smoke weed.
For everybody out there who ever said Barbie was too perfect, there's a doll for you. The normal Barbie, who has cellulite, stretch marks, and now even gets her period. I'm talking about the Lamely doll, with realistic body proportions and a passion for educating girls about their own bodies. She comes with a $10 period party extension kit, an educational pamphlet, doll underwear, 19 colored pads, and stickers to track periods. The founder told Time magazine, It's just what happens in real life. We wanted to put it on the doll so it's not a scary thing.
I don't give a fuck.
They also released a funny video which shows why some girls might prefer to learn about this stuff from the doll instead of their parents.
Real girls period, real girls period. From now on you'll have a myriad. Real girls period, real girls period, real girls period. From now on you'll have a myriad. Real girls
Fuck this.
Of aims and objectives like every other liberation movement has.
I think it's clear. I mean, as anybody who has witnessed three girls fighting over one man can attest, you know, women can't agree on anything. They can't agree on the methods to anything. They can't even run a female liberation movement. Look at the history of feminism. I mean, look how many different definitions of feminism. You're entitled to define it how you want, but other people don't agree with you. Sorry, you don't get the monopoly. And in fact, your version of feminism is this big now. You know, most feminists are batshit crazy progressives. You know, that's not what feminism means anymore. I'm sorry, like, I agree with you on loads of that stuff, but it's just not what feminism is anymore. And the fact that the history of feminism is so fraught with counter, like, rows and backstabbing and bitching and, you know, all these internecine quarrels and renamings and no, this is feminism. Well, you have to look, what does feminism have that no other movements have? It's entirely women.
One last.
Take this opportunity, if you all saw me on Facebook, I'm that bitch that was gonna flame y'all, and I'm sorry to say that you claim that this is free speech, but in actuality, I have a point of view that you may or may not respect, and you did not allow me to have a platform to do that. So I'm taking. I can't. I think.
Do you have a question?
I do. My question is, if rape culture is a myth, then explain why Kesha was not allowed to break the contract with her executive when he obviously raped her.
I'm not going to comment on an individual case that I know nothing about. You're obviously better educated in pop culture than I am. I'll have to pass, I'm afraid. Let's give somebody else a spot. Thank you for coming up, sir.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out